The Freedom Rides. The Freedom Rides were when people traveled to southern states to see if the Supreme Court decision banning segregation on buses and bus terminals was being followed. In 1946, the Supreme Court of the U.S. said it was unconstitutional for public buses which crossed over the state lines to be segregated. A group called CORE, Congress of Racial Equality, a civil rights support group, planned the Freedom Rides. The Freedom Riders were black and whites. On May 4th, 1961, the Freedom Rides started. They would sit next to each other on the bus. This was important because in that time, black and white people weren't allowed to sit next to each other in certain parts of the buses. The Freedom Riders would travel to states like Mississippi and Georgia on these buses to see if the law outlawing segregation on buses and in bus terminals was being followed. This is really dangerous because the people thought being nice to black people was bad and would sabotage the buses. In the buses, the Freedom Riders had armed guards to protect them. One example of the violence is a bus in Alabama had rocks thrown at it, and the bus caught on fire. Later in 1960, the public bus terminals cannot be segregated. 1 year later, in 1962, almost every bus and bus terminal was desegregated. Soon, everyone was treated fairly on buses and in bus terminals. Now, people can sit where they want and with anyone, no matter their race. Finally, I think that these brave riders made a huge difference in American history because they put their lives at risk trying to allow blacks to sit and stand together on buses and in bus terminals. Would you risk your life for a problem like this?